Heino Eriksson, formerly a private under General Rommel, co-wrote a memoir called The Reluctant Warrior. He is about to read the first chapter called The Safari of the Africa Corps.
In 1943, the smell of budding spring in Tunisia's Atlas Mountain teased my nostrils, even as the ground vibrated like an earthquake under me. Hundreds of Sherman tanks rolled towards us. The Americans had us under attack. Within seconds, noise like metallic thunder shook our foxhole. "Come on, boys, come on out," an American yelled from a tank rounding close to my foxhole. I fled my nose into the dirt. I thank God that even in our haste, my body, claws, and I had burrowed deep into the rolling, semi-arid terrain of the Atlas Mountains. "They want us to come out, to surrender," I said, quickly translating the English for claws. I could barely make out his face through the dust. Also, I was close enough to smell his breath. "What should we do?" I asked him. This was more than a rhetorical question. The word was, if you didn't fight or was deserted, your own officers would shoot you without question, without thought. A private first-class class outranked me. I thought he would know what to do. In my mind, he was an old guy, at least 30. I was a scared kid of 18. He should take responsibility. Claus seemed oblivious to this logic. "Claus, see what's going on," I said, nudging him again. By this time, I had to shout to be heard over the mechanical monsters roaring above us. His blue eyes widened in terror in his dirt-caked face. "Are you crazy? I'm married. I've got 2 kids," he said. "Why don't you take a look?" "Because I'm the brain of this team. I'm not doing it either," he said. "I wasn't going to stick my head out and get shot." Of course, the Americans wanted us to surrender, but who knew what they had up their sleeves? Claus and I hunkered even lower, crouched together at the bottom of the hole under a blanket of dirt. The shrieks and grinds of the tanks battered our eardrums. The sides of the foxhole vibrated like the skin of a kettle drum. I pressed my hands over my ears to shut out the noise and the reality above me. Men killings, men dying. Finally, the clamor of the tanks faded. Shots and shrieks replaced the metallic horror. I lifted my head just enough to see. A dust fog covered the ground, allowing faint sunlight to penetrate the field of death. Several feet away, over the edge of the next foxhole, a couple of dirt-covered guys, their eyes wide, stared back at me. It was incredible. They were alive. I was alive. The dust drifted to earth. Sweat and tears stung my eyes. I blinked furiously to clear my vision. In the distance, the entire Allied force disappeared in a storm of dirt. I pressed my ears to stop the ringing. They must have thought they wiped us all out, I yelled to Claus. "How many are left?" a voice called out. "I'm here," a soldier across from me shouted. "2 here," I responded. I spat the dirt of Africa out of my mouth. One by one, other voices echoed across the earth in the now silent foothills. As impossible as it seemed, the enemy had overlooked us.